Hi, welcome back to my channel, Beautiful Minutia. If you're new here, my name is Tiffany, and it's December, as I'm sure you're well aware of. There are a lot of booktubers who are doing Vlogmas or Bookmas and are posting videos every single day leading up to Christmas. I thought that sounded awesome, but I really didn't have that much time to do that because I didn't plan ahead. So I thought instead, this is my plan, we'll see how it goes. I thought I would do weekly vlog videos. So I am still like recording a little bit every day, and you are still getting like Christmassy bookish content, but it will be a little bit easier for me. Admittedly, I stole this idea from Rainy over at Rainy Day Reads. We were talking about Vlogmas, and she said that she thought she was going to try to vlog daily and then like just upload weekly vlogs. I'm like, hey, that's a great idea. So I'm totally stealing this idea from Rainy. So thanks, Rainy, for helping me find a solution to still have some of the fun Vlogmas content without having to put up a video every single day. This particular video will span less time because from here on out, I'm going to do like a Monday through a Sunday. But I'm starting this on December 1st, which is actually a Wednesday. So this will be from a Wednesday to a Sunday. So this will encompass just a little bit less time than future vlogs if I can be consistent with this like I'm hoping to. I actually haven't read anything yet today. I'm a slacker. I've been working on my bullet journal and it's pretty much done, which is great because it's December 1st and I need it. Actually, maybe I'll insert some clips of it here because I have not done a bullet journaling video on here for forever. I just like haven't gotten around to it. And I know some of you really enjoyed them. Some of you probably didn't, and that's fine. Anyways, so plan for today is my daughter has archery practice this afternoon, so I'm hoping to get some reading done then. I haven't got as much reading done this month because we have kittens and you have to keep a really close eye on them unless they're sleeping because they are very mischievous. So I have a couple of buddy reads that I am starting today and really looking forward to. So those are the books that I'm going to hopefully be working on this week. And there may be another one that I start this week too. We'll just kind of see how it goes. So those books are Little Women by Louise May Alcott. I am so thrilled to start this book. I've been so excited and I've been waiting all year to start it. So really looking forward to reading this. I'm reading this with a subscriber friend, Kelly, but I have a couple other people who are like, hey, can we talk to you about it too? Because we really want to read it in December too. So I have some other people that I have on an Instagram group as well that I'm also chatting with about it. So that's kind of fun to be able to talk about it with even more people. And then as part of the Eclectic Book Club run by David Wiley and Shelley Swearington, I'm starting the Iliad. So one of these books is very Christmassy and this one is very not, but I'm really looking forward to it. And actually both of these books are the last two books on my 2021 classic TBR. So I'm really excited to be diving into those and finishing off that TBR officially. I'm not really sure what else today is going to entail. Pretty much just archery, and then it's Wednesday and we have church on Wednesday nights, so I'll have that too. And I also have a grocery pickup, and I think that's about it. We'll see what the day holds and I will take you along with me. So I was asked for kitten content on my last video. This is Heidi. She's the little girl. You're so sweet. She loves to be held and carried around, and when she sees me, she runs over to me and starts purring. She's so cute. And her brother is Winston. Hang on, I'll see if I can get him. This is Winston. He's the little boy kitty. Say hi. And my daughter affectionately has called him Winnie the Purr because he purrs all the time. some errands while my daughter was in archery practice, and then I read a couple of chapters of Little Women. So I read the first 2.5 chapters, and it's so sweet. Like, I already love it so much. There are references to Pilgrim's Progress in just like the first chapter, and my daughter and I just read Pilgrim's Progress together last year, so that makes it especially sweet and wonderful to read. It's so funny though, because I'm just amazed that a book I've never read could make me feel so very nostalgic. It is just so wonderful, and maybe it's because I've seen the movies, but I think that a huge part of it is because of how it's written. It just feels so cozy and wholesome and familiar, even though I haven't even read any Louise May Alcott before. But I'm at the part, it's chapter 3, and Meg and Joe are going to a New Year's dance, and they're trying to figure out how they can go, and they have old dresses because they're poor. They're trying to fix them up, and Joe has ruined her gloves, and Meg won't go with her unless she has gloves, but they can't get new gloves, so they decide that they're each going to just wear one glove and carry one of Joe's messed up gloves, which is hilarious. And it's just talking about some of the other things they did to look beautiful, including the burnt hair, which if you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. But it just talked about how Meg's shoes are too tight, and Joe's hairpins like seemed like they're all stuck straight into her head, which was not exactly comfortable. But dear me, let us be elegant or die. And I just love that. So I am really enjoying reading this so far. I tried to start the Iliad last night, and I read like 2 paragraphs and was just like, oh my gosh, I can't do this. I was so tired, and you might be able to hear I'm kind of congested. I think it's allergies, but I was really tired last night, and so I just could not focus on it at all. I am in like a Voxer group for this, and everyone's talking about the translations that they're reading, and no one's reading the same translation as me. And mine was published in like the 1880s, and they purposely tried to make the language very archaic. So that kind of definitely made it more difficult to read when I was already tired. So I'm going to try to read some more of it and see if maybe I would rather use a different translation that is a bit more accessible, since this is the very first time that I'm reading it. So instead, I read some more of Little Women, and I'm now 4 chapters in, and it's just so sweet, and I love it so much. I am going to bring it with me to our homeschool group because sometimes I have a little downtime to read at the very beginning, but I do like teach or assist teaching in 2 different classes out of the 3 classes, so I don't have as much time, but I feel like when there's a lot of background noise, reading the Iliad would probably be very difficult, but I think I should still be able to read Little Women. So today will be very busy since we have our homeschool group going on, and I just now realized there's like this light streaming through, so hopefully that's not distracting. Hopefully it just looks magical rather than distracting. But anyways, today will prove to be quite a busy day, but Thursdays are really fun days. My daughter loves being able to take fun classes with her other homeschooled friends, and I help teach in one of the classes. It's pre-K and K, and then the other one is like 2 and 3-year-olds, and it's so much fun. So I really love that because those are my 2 favorite ages, so I love playing with the little kids. It's like a highlight of my week. So it will be a very busy day today. So I don't know how much reading I will get done throughout the day. Hopefully some more reading in the evening, but we'll see.
have been trying to work on the Iliad, and I love this copy. It's so pretty, but the translation is really just not working for me. This is a translation by Andrew Lang, Walter Leaf, and Ernest Myers. And it even says in the introduction that they were going for a very archaic vocabulary and syntax, very similar to like Shakespeare, King James Version Bible, all that kind of stuff. And it was just like a little too much for me with the these and the thous, and I wasn't, like, I could have read it, but I wasn't enjoying it that much. So I am on the hunt for a better translation. I found on Kindle a translation by Robert Fitzgerald, which I am really enjoying quite a bit more. It still has like a very old feel to it, but without the these and thous. But the only complaint I have about that translation is for some reason they're using Roman names for the gods rather than Greek names. So like they're using Jove instead of Zeus, which is just weird anyway, because I thought that the Roman version was Jupiter. That's kind of funny because I'm like, is that where by Jove came from? Was because Jove was another name for Zeus? So that's kind of interesting. I'm gonna stop at my library because I know they have the Robert Fagles translation, which some of the people in our group are using, and maybe I would enjoy that one, but I'm gonna kind of dip my toes into a couple translations before I finally like settle on which one I need to be reading. But I did read almost all of book 1 in the... What the heck is happening? Okay, I'm back. I got interrupted. Someone was at the door, so I was gone for a little bit. And I don't remember exactly what I was saying when I left off. I think I was talking about translations of the Iliad. So if you have any recommendations of what translation you prefer, feel free to chime in the comments below. By the time this video posts, I will have already maybe chosen a translation, but maybe not. So I'd still appreciate your input. So I did read a little bit of Little Women last night. I'm now through chapter 5. And I'm just loving it, and it's so sweet. And I love the description of Beth that is in this book. It says, "There are many Beths in the world, shy and quiet, sitting in corners till needed, and living for others so cheerfully that no one sees the sacrifices till the little cricket on the hearth stops chirping, and the sweet, sunshiny presence vanishes, leaving silence and shadow behind." So I just love that. Even having like not read the book, but seen the movies, I think everyone has like a favorite sister. And I think a lot of people's favorite sister is Jo, but I love Beth. Beth is just so sweet and selfless, and I wish I was more like Beth. So after I read a little bit of Little Women, I switched to Winter House because I needed something easier to read because I was tired. So I took NyQuil last night, so I zonked out kind of early. So I did read a chapter and a half of Winter House. I'm enjoying it so far. There's really not a whole lot to talk about so far. Basically, the main character, Elizabeth, she comes home from school to a note on the door that says that her aunt and uncle are going on vacation for the 3 weeks of Christmas vacation, and they've bought a train ticket for her to go stay at Winter House, which I think is a hotel, maybe? I'm not totally sure yet on that though. But they bought a ticket for her to go there because they're not very nice and they don't care about her. So she's got like a train ticket and then a bag with like some of her clothes in it, and then like give her like $3 to help her with food and stuff on the way, which is not very much. So yeah, so far it's good, but you know, obviously I'm very far in to have any sort of opinion at all, but I do really love the illustrations in this book. They are just really pretty and I like them a lot. And I also really like, I don't really know what the purpose of them is yet, but I mentioned this in my TBR video. I really like these word ladders that are at the beginning of every single chapter. I just think they're really interesting, and I don't really know what purpose they serve yet, but I'm looking forward to hopefully finding out more of that. But it definitely makes me think that there is a puzzle solving element in addition to the mystery element of this story. So my plans for today so far are to take our new kittens to the vet. They need just a checkup and some booster shots and stuff. So my daughter and I are going to go do that in a couple minutes. And then my husband is working tonight, so I don't really know what my plans for the evening are just yet. We might make some Christmas cookies, actually. I need to get a head start on that because I'm supposed to be bringing some to our church dinner on Sunday. Good morning. It is another busy day around here, so I figured I would update you before I get my day started. See, this is why I don't film out with the kittens, is because this is what happens. And the dog's eating his food, so he's being really loud. Oh my gosh. It's just a zoo around here this morning. No, my dog's drinking. Anyways, it's noisy. So, I went to my library and I got a different edition of the Iliad. Got this one, which is Robert Fagel's translation. This is written in poetry rather than in prose, and I was definitely feeling like I would rather read the Iliad in prose the first time around, but I read a little bit of this at the library before I checked it out and loved it. So it's not like it's rhyming prose or anything like that. So, because I was thinking like when I read Pushkin earlier this year and everything was rhyming, and that was really difficult for me to read a whole story like that, a long one. So I was worried about that with the Iliad, but this is actually really beautifully written and totally readable, way more readable than the Andrew Lang translation that I was reading. So I have finished book 1. Hopefully we'll finish book 2 today. I should be reading book 4, so I'm definitely behind, but that's okay. I'll catch up later in the month, probably. And then last night I read more of Winter House. I'm basically being like my daughter. She loves to use weird things for bookmarks, and I'm totally using a cough drop wrapper because that's how I roll, apparently. I'm enjoying this story so far. So now Elizabeth is at Winter House, the hotel, and I love the way it's described. The characters are super interesting, and there's definitely like a mystery going on there, and probably I'm thinking Elizabeth might have some family ties to this hotel. I don't think that's spoilery because I'm not very far in. I finished chapter 9 last night. I love Elizabeth's character. She is a bookworm, and there are tons of references to other books, which I love books that reference other books. So Anne of Green Gables has been in here several times. Escape from Mr. Limoncello's library, which is a really fun one. I think there was another one or two, but I don't remember. And Elizabeth has met a boy who likes to play with words as much as she does because she loves to rearrange the words. Can I help you? The words, or the letters in words to make new words, and he loves to do the same thing, so that's really fun. She also loves to make lists, and I gotta read you this little part where it talks about some of the lists that she has made. It's so funny. Some of her lists where things Aunt Purdy says are true that really are not true. Lakes I plan to see someday. Hairstyles I don't like. Dangerous animals I plan to see in the wild. Favorite soups and stews. Worst grammatical errors Mrs. Thorngrack made during first semester. Things people do when they think other people aren't looking at them. Things Uncle Burlap says that don't make any sense. And famous people I'm going to write letters to before I'm 13. So I just thought that was really fun, all her lists. And there are many more that have been mentioned, but that's a list of her lists. And I just thought it was really funny. It was cracking me up. So I'm going to have some breakfast and keep an eye on these crazy kittens who are all over the place. And try to get a little more reading done before we go. We have to leave pretty soon because we are going to like a luncheon for pastors and their families, but it's like 2 hours away. So that's going to take up a huge chunk of our day, and then I need to start making some stuff because we have a church dinner after church tomorrow. So it's actually like a really busy weekend that I'm taking you along with me, and not as much reading has happened as I might have hoped. But hopefully I will get some more reading done this afternoon when we get back and this evening. Good morning. I might be the worst vlogger of all time this week. I have been so busy. We went to our district Christmas party yesterday, which I mentioned, and we left the house at like 10 o'clock and didn't get home till after 7. And then I needed to make cookies and do other stuff to prepare for our church Christmas dinner today. So I had like almost no time to vlog at all yesterday. Unfortunately, on the way home, I got some coffee so I'd have enough energy to get the stuff done that I needed to get done. But then I couldn't sleep, which was very unfortunate. But the one benefit of insomnia is that you can read more. So I finished Winter House last night. I was only like maybe a quarter of the way through, and then I read the rest of it. So yeah, I kind of have mixed thoughts on this one, honestly. I love our protagonist. I love how smart she is and how she's book loving. I love all the literary references. I love all the puzzles. But there are elements to this that I really didn't enjoy very much. First of all, I thought it was very predictable, which I know this is a middle grade, but there are middle grades that are not super predictable. I think it would be easy for a lot of kids to guess the ending to this one. Secondly, although this is Winter House and takes place during Christmas, it's actually really dark, and I feel like it would be better read during like spooky season than December. Because it gets really weird and really creepy at the end. And I could see really early on, like maybe a quarter to a third of the way in, I could see where it was going, and I was just hoping that it wasn't, and it did. So I really didn't love that. I don't want to talk about what it is though, because it's kind of like very spoilery, even though you'd probably be able to guess really quickly while you're reading this. I do feel like the battle between good and evil in this book is like really epic. And I love that the main character is also struggling kind of inwardly between good and evil. And she's mostly good, but she has like impulses where she feels tempted by a situation, or she feels tempted by someone evil trying to convince her to do something that she knows is a really bad idea, particularly at the climax of the book, but you see traces of it throughout as well. And I really liked that element of it. I feel like it's a little too creepy for my daughter, but I loved that that was in there because I feel like that's such a good talking point with your children, particularly from a Christian point of view, how there is like a war for good and evil going on around us all the time, and going on around for us personally. And we have to choose the right thing. And so I feel like that's really good. But I do feel like there'll probably be a lot of Christian parents that are kind of unsettled by some of the wonky supernatural stuff that happens in this book. So I guess take that with a grain of salt. If that is something that concerns you, I would recommend pre-reading this book before you hand it to your child, if that's something that bothers you. I know there's a lot of people that it doesn't bother them at all. So if that's not you, don't worry about it. As long as your kid can handle a little bit of creep, they'd probably be fine with it. So I have mixed feelings on it. I'd probably give it 3 stars, and I probably will not continue with the series because there are elements of it that I loved. But the elements that I didn't love, I can tell by the synopsis of the second book that it will continue to be a very big theme. So probably won't continue the trilogy. So I have some stuffing in the oven for the dinner. It's almost done, and I will bring that over and then do our church service and then our church dinner, which will be really fun, and I'm looking forward to that. Dog is scratching himself. I don't know if you can hear that. Apparently it's never quiet during this vlog, but you know, it's real life and it's less formal of a video, so I really don't care, and I don't think you do either. So yeah, I guess that's about it for this update right now. It's going to be a busy day. I don't know how late I'm going to be at church. The advantage is I live right next door to church, so when things are over, I don't have a long commute home, unlike yesterday from that Christmas party. It was like almost 2 hours home. Krista from Books and Jams is hosting live reading sprints tonight, which I'm really excited about because I have gotten almost no reading done this weekend. Well, this week in general. we've been really tired in the evenings. So I guess that was the one advantage of sleeplessness last night, is that I could get a little more reading done. So I am hoping to get more reading done during the productivity sprints tonight. So we'll see if I zonk out too early because I didn't get much sleep last night. But I'm hoping I can at least get some reading done then, and maybe some this afternoon too, when I can relax when everything is done. But we'll see. Krista's live sprints and I actually got so much reading done. It was really encouraging because I feel like I haven't had very much time to read lately, so it was nice. So I read all of book 2 of the Iliad. I'm supposed to be on book 5, so I'm really behind. But it was nice to read all of book 2, and parts of it were really great and really interesting. And then like the second half of the book is just a list of like all these ships that are going to war, and it's a little tedious and a little boring, but I got through it. And then I also read 2 chapters of Little Women, and I am just absolutely adoring this book. I love the chapter with Beth and Laurie's grandpa. I think that was chapter 6. Their relationship is just really, really sweet. That develops, and his love for her because of his little granddaughter that she reminds him of, who has passed away, and I just love it. I love Beth anyway. Beth is just so sweet and selfless, and I just love Beth. So I guess I am going to wrap up this reading vlog here. This has not been the best reading vlog, I don't think. I did finish a book though. I finished Winter House, and I have finished 7 chapters of Little Women and 2 books of the Iliad. So I have definitely gotten some reading done. But unfortunately, you know, not as much as I do in a lot of other reading vlogs, but that's okay. Some reading is better than no reading. And I'm just finding that lately I've just been in a much busier season of life, especially now that Claire is like playing a sport and stuff, and so that is keeping me busier because it's not something we've really ever done before. So I just have to have different expectations and find different pockets of time to read, and that's okay. I think I had, different expectations from 2020, where like nothing was going on, and even like the first half of 2021, right up until we were getting ready to move, we just really weren't as busy for the most part. And so I got used to having a lot of extra time to read and not having as much social obligations, and I have a lot more of those now, so it's just an adjustment, I think. So thank you for tuning into this vlog. I hope to have more vlogs up weekly. Whether or not I do whole week vlogs or just weekends, I'm not really sure yet. We will see. I'm gonna try to do that because it's like a fun way for me to participate in VLOGMAS without really posting every day, because I did not have enough foresight to do that. So maybe next year I will be better in the planning department in terms of VLOGMAS. I would love to hear from you down in the comments below. Would love to hear what you have been reading this December, whether you have been reading festive books or other things. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please hit like and also subscribe so you can continue to see more bookish content from me, and I will see you again next time.